why there's such power behind doing the affirmation of gratitude is it reframes your own psychology, creates different neural pathways, it helps with the neuroplasticity of moving one from perhaps a lack mindset, a competition, adversarial mindset to one of, man, this universe is ever expanding, like it's continuously, infinitely expanding. Damn, so I guess that means opportunities, abundance, joy, happiness, material possessions, success, monetarily, socially, emotionally, all these other things. I guess those opportunities are also always expanding too, so there's plenty for me as well.
Yeah, it's almost like how do you look at it? Because you can, for example, I mean, we can bring that affirmation practice back to business. We both lost big contracts before. We both had opportunities that we thought we were right on the precipice of taking in and crushing for a client, for ourselves, as it pertains to music, film, photo, football, anything. But if you can reframe to say that regardless of how this happens, it's putting me on the track that I'm supposed to be on based on whatever belief system you have. I mean, that could be, the Western civilized church, God, that could be unicity, that could be universal laws of power, that could, whatever. If you can reframe regardless of where you sit on religion, spirituality, what have you, in a place of gratitude and abundance, for everything. You get in a car accident. Let's look at this. I got in a couple car accidents in the last, 24 months, and it pissed me off. And this man maybe tried to reframe me a little bit. The majority of them were simply reminders that I'm putting myself a little bit too close to danger, a little bit too frequently. Even if I'm not the one that slammed into the back of me going 60 miles an hour, the only reason I had to stop so quickly that someone else slammed in the back of me is because there was a car sitting in front of me that was stopped that I wasn't paying attention to. So from a legal fault standpoint, not my fault. Absolutely my responsibility, and absolutely a reminder that life is a little bit fragile. So I might want to reframe how I'm traveling in a car in these vehicles of death out here. More people die from cars than planes. When you really think about it, more people die. I would venture to say, stateside, more people die from car accidents than guns. I believe that's, and if I'm wrong, hang me out to dry. But I'm pretty sure that vehicular involuntary manslaughter and voluntary accounts for more deaths in the U.S. than guns. So I only say all that to say that sometimes those things, when you go back to gratitude, when you go back to affirming that everything that's meant for you will be, and everything that you're in is meant for you in some format, even if you don't have the perspective, because hindsight is always 20/20. That's an axiom that everyone likes to throw around, but we don't really visit that sometimes in scenarios to be like, okay, I don't know what this is. I don't know where this is taking me, but if I can get in a fender bender and come out without a scratch, and then I could drive down the road and someone has wrapped a car around a tree, isn't that a subtle reminder that, well, I should have gratitude for my life, for the fragility of life, for maybe getting in something, my fault or not, that gave me that reminder before I'm texting and driving, before I'm looking down at my foot, or, with a lover in the car and making eye contact and run into a wall and die. Yeah. Gratitude's important. Yeah. And I feel like that's a little bit tangential, but it kind of just in the macro brings us back to everything can lead you there, or everything can lead you away from gratitude. It's really just a frame of reference. You lose a contract, boom. You can go scarcity. You can go, oh, woe is me. I'm not good enough. I'm not da-da-da. Or you can look at it like, maybe I wasn't supposed to be there. Maybe that wasn't the right client for me, for my mental health, my sanity, my pocketbook. Might be that, 6 months down the road or 5 years down the road, I get into a 360 deal with someone else. Let's talk about music for a second. That could be a thing. You don't get an opportunity that you necessarily really wanted. Next thing you know, you're in a massive deal with a record label, making 100x what you would have, doing something that you love. Or you're getting a feature on somewhere, or you're helping someone produce something, or you're a part of bringing, big NFTs into a space with a big name artist, or you yourself, or that. There's just a lot of things that if we would just go back to gratitude just a wee bit more, just try to reframe. You get in an argument with somebody, try to step back. after that conversation is done, try to step back. Is it something that you can have gratitude for, even having the passion in the relationship to be able to go there regardless, that you care enough about one another that you're not just going to cut each other off and disappear? I mean, there's some gratitude, and that sounds backwards, and it sounds like it's something that, like, why would you be grateful that you got in an argument with someone? Well, sometimes it's indicative of the amount of passion that the two of you have, and whether that be a business, personal, or what have you, romantic relationship. I mean, that's the nuance of life.
Yeah. And sometimes these things often just serve as an indication or the beginning of a rectification process, of a upgrade, of a renovation of sorts. And I think it's just powerful when people actually take that time to do that reframing, which is not a new technique. It's not, most people who listen to this probably even heard of it, but are you doing it?